From bartenders who started literal brawls inside the bar, to those who scheduled BDSM fetish events in their workplace without the owner knowing, these are the worst bartenders found in the 5th season of Bar Rescue, starting with the bartenders at Russell City Grill and Sports Bar, who treated every shift like their own after-party. Manned by El Boogie, Pineapple, Nikita, and Josie, the bar immediately seemed like an energetic powerhouse, but for all the wrong reasons. Even before the customers had their fair share of fun for the night, Pineapple and Nikita were already taking shots and getting so riled up that they were comfortable enough to swear and get dressed in front of customers.
Who old as as old as
Wow.
We're playing that. No.
I ain't got no problem taking my belt off.
I'll take my belt off too. They ain't going nowhere.
The biggest thing to me being a bartender is service. And we've got a bartender behind the bar who's getting dressed, putting a belt on.
And as if drinking on the clock wasn't bad enough, the girls turned the bar into their own powder room, doing makeup, posing for pictures, and getting lit. Josie was the only one who at least tried to work, while the others focused almost entirely on having a good time.
We don't wear panties on the beach. We going on a trip to the beach.
Despite this lack of customer service, Nikita still had the audacity to pressure customers into giving her tips.
I know you ain't give her no $2 and you just gave me $1. I could have pocketed your $20.
I've never seen bartenders have that much attitude about tips. How about you give that guest a great experience to bring them in 3 times a week?
And as if things couldn't get more chaotic, Church, the owner's friend, randomly entered the bar and started acting like he had equal authority over the bartenders.
Oh my God, Church, don't already start though.
So Church doesn't even work here, walks behind the bar.
Oh, no.
As he became more and more of a nuisance to the staff, the bartenders started confronting him.
You ain't even supposed to be back here in the first place, right?
Yeah, go over there.
El Boogie does not look happy with Church right now.
Why you even back here? Move, 'cause you all in our way. Damn.
Look at them.
I don't even know why Church is here. He doesn't even work here.
And soon enough, Al Boogie's confrontation with him led to one of the most aggressive brawls in the show's history.
Back up. Grab.
Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa.
Look at him.
Oh my God.
They gonna leave.
Y'all think I'm a bitch like that?
They're still fighting.
On the bathroom.
So he's bleeding.
Break him up.
This is not a fight anymore. This is now a war. Oh, police unit at those lights going, that's what'll calm him down.
Exactly.
This is the perfect example of what happens when a bar is out of control.
Al Boogie eventually got fired because of the physical escalation, but many fans didn't see his decision to fight Church as completely over the top, with one fan writing, "Still don't know why Lee fired his bouncer instead of just banning Church from coming back," while others were straight up on the bartender's side, commenting, "Good on Lee for firing Al Boogie, because now mans can finally go work at a place that actually has some standards." Fighting aside, when training day arrived, Pineapple and Nikita were still struggling to make even the simplest drinks.
Make it.
I'm kind of lost on this drink. What do you think?
Why was I thinking tonic?
No? Club. You think club? Final answer?
Do you want to phone a friend?
Let's phone a friend. Lee.
Ring.
What was the question?
And surprisingly, the stress test was still a mess, with Ray's red card signaling customer disappointment flooding in almost immediately. And just hours before the relaunch, when Lee told the staff that tips would now be shared, Pineapple walked out on him, and he got into an emotional argument with Nikita.
Now let's put everything on the table. Because you're not gonna dog me out like this. And I'm a bitch that had your back. I'm the one that had your back. Nobody else had your back. Just, you know what? Write the rest of my paycheck out. And that's all you gotta do.
That sounds good, and that's where I want you to come get your check.
I'm gonna come get my check.
Go somewhere and do better.
Oh, thank you.
Do better. That's what I'm talking about. We don't need that. We got a new team today. We're gonna make this work.
The only one left was Josie, who stepped up to train the new staff, a group that was luckily far more skilled and far more professional than the bartenders of the Wheelhouse, the bar that somehow thought installing a roller skating rink for drunk customers was a genius business idea. Now, the establishment's concept alone was already a recipe for failure, but a huge part of why it was losing money was arguably because the bartenders had more flaws than actual skills. After all, they drank more alcohol than the customers did, even while their employer was literally watching them.
Katie's house.
And they couldn't care less about irritating customers with their attitude.
Hanger 24, it's Coors Light.
I said Hanger 24, you go no Coors Light.
I said Hanger 24.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you it up.
No way, I would never go to live beer.
This woman's mouth is unbelievable.
Terrible work ethic aside, these bartenders proudly presented their signature drink, the trash can, a name that turned out to be painfully accurate.
Big pitcher cocktail that they throw everything in the world in.
Do they call it the trash can because that's where you end up puking from drinking this?
If you drink it, it gets you sick, gets you drunk. There's more alcohol in that one drink than you're allowed to consume in the time you're here.
You see the look on her face when she tried to drink?
Someone online found both the customers and John Taffer's reaction hilarious, commenting, "Jesus Christ, she ordered a drink called a trash can. Were you expecting something good?" But others were quick to push back, replying with something along the lines of, "I've drank what was called an Irish trash can and it was delicious. So they can be good." Though that only scratches the surface of how these bartenders were damaging the bar's reputation from the inside. When Recon ordered pizza, the bartenders immediately started openly complaining about having to make it.
Possible to make me a pizza.
More than happy to make you pizza. Did you tell him it's gonna be like an hour?
After all, it had to be cooked in a completely different part of the building. But this quickly turned into a full-blown complaint marathon about a simple pizza order.
Look at the smoke coming out of this oven. That's filth, guys. So this pizza's gonna taste like that filth. This is the conveyor from hell.
So that was about 25.
You tell them to come make their own pizza. Burn. They can come make it themselves.
And it wasn't just the bartenders stuck in the kitchen disrespecting the owners. Even Ashley, who was serving the Recon, openly complained about the bar itself.
I think that a lot of people don't come to the bar because the meat is outdated.
What's the main problem now, do you think?
Just lack of structure, no discipline, no consequences for anybody's behavior.
To make matters worse, when the Recon tried to reorder a pizza that wasn't burnt, the bartender lied and claimed the kitchen had already shut down, costing the bar even more money.
Is it possible for you to get me a pizza?
Your kitchen's closed.
Kitchen's closed?
Because she knows she has to go back there and make it.
If I had one staff member in my restaurant that talked people out of buying food, they'd only be there for an hour. They'd be gone.
And it certainly didn't help that the bar allowed customers to skate while holding alcoholic drinks, a lawsuit waiting to happen that nearly became a reality during filming.
Oh my God, what the?
She fell.
You okay? Did you hit your head?
I lost my footing and then,
You've had a few drinks tonight, right?
yeah.
So they overserve her, and then they put roller skates on her.
Fans of the show immediately called out the incredibly dangerous idea, with one suggesting, "They need to give wristbands to the adults that have been drinking more than 1 or 2 drinks. Let everyone on staff know not to let them put skates on them." But even more destructive to the bar than the skating rink itself was Ashley, whose constant attitude toward cooking pizza finally forced the owners to face a harsh truth about their staff.
I want to ask, who said let him make his own pizza?
I said it. I said it back there. No one was around. It's not like I said it in front of a customer.
But you have to respect me. If you can't respect me, we can't work together.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I'm gonna let you go tonight. And I know this is hard.
No.
And if I'm wrong, Ashley,
Nope. Done.
Before leaving, however, Ashley had one last selfish antic to pull, pouring all of the night's tips into her bag before hopping into her Mercedes-Benz.
That's bull.
Many viewers watching the show couldn't believe what they had just seen, commenting, "Did that chick really just dump the tip jar in her purse? What the fuck?" And another adding, "I'm surprised the other girls didn't flip out when she took all of the night's tips." Though some viewers were simply amused by her expensive exit, commenting, "I didn't feel so bad after seeing her drive away in that Mercedes." But speaking of bartenders who ended up exiting in the most dramatic way possible, that brings us to Rita, the Brick House Bar and Grill, who walked away from her shift because she was jealous. This episode is proof that workplace romance can become extra messy when it happens inside a bar. But before the episode even touched on that topic, it was already obvious that this bar had absolutely no standard operating procedures, as the owner constantly handed out round after round of free shots.
5 shots.
Are you buying or are they buying?
I'll buy this round, but they gotta buy the next one.
John certainly has no problem partying out.
No.
Look at him. This doesn't look like a guy whose house is on the line.
And openly flirted with customers
Ross, how gorgeous is this one?
right in front of his bartending girlfriend, Rita.
I told him, I was like, you want a chick? You better get.
Oh.
The owner flirting with everyone was a disaster waiting to happen. But even before the relationship drama escalated, there were already major red flags behind the bar itself. Rita was literally dipping her finger into cocktail ingredients.
I mean, I know the bar is your area, but I'm not a dummy to tell you that her finger is in the grenadine container right there. It is a disgusting grenadine mess.
Ugh, look at it dripping off her fingernail. That's disgusting.
Other bartenders were either overpouring or underpouring shots. And when the recon spies tried to order a basic drink, the bartenders couldn't make it or even recommend a similar cocktail.
Do you guys have Costco meals?
No.
Do you guys really like that?
No, we don't have the 10 cups.
That's a basic drink in any bar.
Beer seemed like the only logical option for the recon team, but the bartenders couldn't even pour a decent pint because of the broken condenser system.
See, one thing that Colorado is known for is their beer.
Look at the foam.
Oh my gosh, it's just pouring out pitchers of foam.
So the fact of the matter is that profit just went down the drain.
Well, yeah, foam is 25% beer. So every time you pour that foam out, you're pouring money down the drain.
But soon, the lack of bartending skills wasn't the only problem anymore. As the owner continued flirting with customers, Rita began drinking heavily and became visibly jealous.
She's getting pissed.
She is, and he should know it, but he's so drunk, he's just gonna keep hugging those girls and taking pictures with those girls.
I need a drink. Give me a drink, Lamb. Damn it.
What's going on over here, though?
Who was on that one?
That was on you. Can I get a drink, please? Please, can I have a drink, somebody?
Looks like John's making Rita jealous.
She became so emotional that she eventually walked out of the bar, abandoning her post mid-shift.
I never get mad about it, but I'm getting mad. I'm getting ignored. You get the away from me right now.
Okay. Look at him.
Right.
I'm done with this. Sick and tired. I don't care what you do. Go home with those bitches for all I care.
Oh, man.
Pour those?
Get the off.
Go inside. Go get some water.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fine. Go.
Some viewers saw the situation as a life lesson about starting romantic relationships at work, with one person commenting on social media, and that's why owners should never have relationships with their employees. Like my pop used to say, if you don't start no shit, then there won't be no shit. But I'm not sure if those two can really work together anymore. Though at this point, John Taffer's criticism leaned heavily toward the owner, who clearly had no control over what was happening inside his own bar.
I'm gonna go in. I gotta have a heart-to-heart with him. Go ahead, have another one. Why not? Have another one with him. What's the difference at this point? Is upsetting her in the middle of a shift when she's working with customers in your environment serve you well? Is that your game?
At the very least, Rita walking out felt somewhat understandable, unlike Lindsay's decision to abandon her post simply because the customers were complaining about how bad her drinks were at Schaefer's Bar and Grill.
There's one of your bartenders, Lindsay. She's walked out.
This was one of the occasional episodes when John Taffer brought in actual chefs and mixology experts to act as recon spies inside the bar. So for Lindsay and Dana, that meant their non-existent bartending skills could no longer go unnoticed. Dana didn't even know how to make the very first drink ordered.
Could I get a Rob Roy?
I don't know what Rob Roy is.
I don't either.
Start looking it up.
Really, Nita? Ryan has to Google a recipe for your bartender?
Roy, this is a terrible piece of trash. You should be able to taste the sweet vermouth, taste the scotch, have the smokiness, have that spice of the bitter.
And when the recon spies tried to order more, it was Lindsay's time to show how incredibly rude she can also be.
Do you know how to make a sidecar? Can I just get just a Manhattan?
No, we can't make Manhattans because we don't have the sweet vermouth.
It's a New York, so personality's a little tart.
You get just like a vodka gimlet?
They don't know how to make a gimlet, probably. You know, I hear them talk all of our drinks with me, and I'm not going to deal with it.
After overhearing the spies discussing how bad their cocktails were, Lindsay walked out mid-shift, and almost instantly, the already fragile service completely collapsed.
A bunch of roses lime.
Lunches. Yeah.
I'm about to go home. I don't give a shit I've ever done in my life.
Bartender, she's walked out.
Ordered like gimlets and Manhattans and all these like foo-foo drinks, and they're like, oh, she did it wrong. I don't want to be here. I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm done.
Ironically, though, despite Lindsay's unprofessional exit, Nita, who was sitting with John Taffer in the recon car, still wanted to convince the bartender to return, but that effort ultimately went nowhere.
Can't afford to lose her. I'm sorry. I need to talk to her so that I don't lose her. To stay here.
I don't give a I'm done. I'm done.
Is everybody okay?
Oh, I don't care. Get the out of here. Everybody out.
I don't give a There's a million other bars to go higher at, but I'm not doing this.
Wow.
Lindsay never returned for the stress test or the relaunch, and that kind of attitude brings us to the Bartenders of Champagne's Cafe, a bar where some staff members didn't even bother showing up for their regular shifts.
Right now we're missing 2 bartenders. They're both MIA, they're not answering their calls.
During recon night, Autumn was the only bartender who actually clocked in, but simply showing up didn't exactly make up for her lack of bartending skills that even seasoned mixologists who had seen years of bad bartending, they really found it shocking. When the recon spies first arrived, Autumn was incredibly hospitable.
Hi. What can I get for you guys? Martini. Martini? Okay.
It's one of those Godfathers. How's that?
Godfather?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it quickly became obvious she was nowhere near ready to run a bar on her own, because while trying to make drinks, the owner was literally training her how to bartend in real time.
I just need to shake it.
A whole bunch of shakers down there.
But I have to do it like this?
So he's teaching her how to bartend. Look.
In the middle of
So she doesn't know what to do.
I can shake it like this?
No, make the drink in that, then use the shaker tin. You're using the wrong glass.
Okay, I got it.
You got it?
The best way to learn is behind the bar.
So it wasn't exactly surprising when the spies hated the first sip of their drink.
I think that's pear gin.
Tried to order a Godfather. That was terrible. She claimed that she went to bartending school. I don't think she'd ever drank before in her life.
But credit where credit's due, at least she was cool about the complaints and still tried to make more drinks for the customers.
Just get like a Jack and Coke.
You don't like that?
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know how to describe it.
They can't drink that drink.
If I show you this recipe, can you make me this drink? Sure. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
So look at how awkward this is.
However, this skill issue wasn't even the biggest problem, because the bar didn't have some of the most basic cocktail ingredients available.
I don't have this stuff.
This is ridiculous. 3 simple ingredients: gin, some honey, and lemon.
John Taffer was so dumbfounded that he even sent the expert mixologist in as a customer to get a full scope of just how unprepared the bar really was.
Here's what I want to do. We've never done this before. I want you to go in alone. Sit down at the bar, order an old-fashioned. The minute it's wrong, jump up, go behind the bar, show them how to do it.
With pleasure.
All right, bust them.
All right.
After waiting unnoticed for several minutes, the mixologist finally ordered a drink and immediately witnessed the owner giving a live bartending lesson to customers in real time.
She has been waiting over there. She's been wanting a drink.
An old-fashioned, please.
Old-fashioned? Okay.
Great.
Bitters and simple syrup, and then it's a bourbon and soda. That's all there is to it. You got that?
No.
Okay, hang on a sec.
When he made that old-fashioned, it looked disgusting. Greg muddled a bunch of fruit in it. There's club soda.
But after watching how the drink was made, she didn't even need to taste it to know how it would turn out. So she jumped behind the bar and basically took over the bartending class herself.
If you're gonna step behind the bar, whether you're training or not on a Friday night, you gotta at least know your basic drink.
And while the bar luckily had most of the ingredients she needed to teach Autumn and the owner how to make a proper cocktail,
Put your cube in there. We're gonna put a couple dashes of bitters. Now we're gonna muddle. Make sure you get that sugar in there. Go ahead and throw in your cherry. Get those flavors in there. Okay, so we got 2 ounces of booze. You're gonna fill that glass all the way to size.
the lesson still turned into another disaster when they realized that there wasn't a single bar spoon inside an actual bar.
Now tell me you have a bar spoon.
I own one. I don't know where it is.
You guys don't even have like classic tools. Is there even a strainer?
I don't know where it is.
Do you have a spoon of any kind? So if it says fine food, I assume that you have silverware, right? Do you have food?
I do not have food.
Okay, so we got a menu that's a liar. Great. We have no way to make this cocktail. What's showing up?
I have no idea. Thank you.
Fans of the show found that moment completely hilarious, with one comment saying, "John bringing in that mixing spoon will always make me laugh." That is one of the funniest clips from Bar Rescue, and then the face John gives after is one of the scariest things I've ever seen on Bar Rescue. The next day, John returned to the bar, and this time the two bartenders who were missing during recon night actually showed up. And although they initially weren't much better than Autumn when it came to bartending skills, by relaunch night, the trio had noticeably improved. A completely different story from the bartenders at Why Not Sports Pub and Grub, who appeared far more devoted to tending to their goldfish than serving the actual customers walking through the door. This bar had the unique concept of hosting goldfish races, even though most, if not all, of the customers clearly couldn't care less about them.
Hey, we gotta go that way. Finish line's that way, that way.
You notice nobody cares. Nobody's even looking.
Here we go. We've got an early leader.
And not only were these fish races incredibly confusing for customers, they literally pulled staff away from serving paying guests.
So we're 5 minutes in, they haven't ordered yet. But the goldfish are taken care of. They haven't missed a beat on the races.
And it wasn't just John Taffer's team who found the fish racing concept totally absurd, as plenty of viewers also questioned the activity, with one fan writing, "The goldfish racing looks more like something you'd find at a grade school fundraiser," as more people agreed. Exactly. It's not problematic like John said, but sounds like something stoners do to amuse themselves when they're high. Not exactly a bar novelty. That said, when there was finally a staff member available to take orders, the bartender's real problems became even clearer.
What are we thinking?
Can we get some Irish green tea shots?
We are kind of we have to order that show. Beef. I need 10 Irish green tea shots.
Jesus Christ.
Every time a round of shots was ordered, the bartender couldn't stop swearing behind the bar.
I need 10 shots of well tequila.
Give me a minute.
And during a staff meeting, it was revealed that some bartenders were drinking while on the job, leading the owner to fire Elena on the spot.
Too many customer complaints?
You drinking on the job?
After my shift?
No, you're working.
Okay.
What are you gonna do about it?
I love you, but Elaine, I can't. It's really bad. I have to let you go.
Riding that momentum, the owner then confronted Jessica for constantly showing up late and failing to ring in drinks properly.
Jessica, she can't show up on time. She won't ring up her drinks. That's costing me money.
I've never stolen money from here.
Not ringing up drinks all the time.
I've been at the same company for 7 years.
Is stealing.
I've never taken money from you. I'm sorry.
That's taking money from me.
I understand
I don't think
that.
you're understanding this. This has happened many times. I've gone to your till and I've said, why isn't that ringing? I'm honest. You need to be honest.
I am being
How many
honest.
times have I gone to that computer and said, Jessica, why aren't those ringing? Jessica, why aren't those ringing? Jessica, why aren't those ringing?
It's when we're slammed busy and
It doesn't matter.
I promise you I do
I'm
it.
not gonna argue anymore. I'm taking accountability for my bar. I love you. I just can't do it anymore. I'm just going to let you go.
After watching his coworkers get fired back-to-back, Brandon quit immediately, leaving the bar severely understaffed within minutes.
This isn't gonna work. We lose you.
You can't believe this.
Jessica was let go. Where I'm at right now, I can't stay here. I gotta go, dude. I can't work here.
Wow.
I have to. I don't have a choice. She's family to me.
You know what's funny is Jessica never even liked you.
It's not right.
Are you hearing yourself?
I'm leaving.
Unbelievable.
However, as chaotic as everything looked in that moment, those decisions may have actually helped the bar in the long run. Although the new bartending team the owner hired was not much better than the initial trio, messing up drinks at a questionable pace,
oh gosh, this is gonna be my first experience at the bar that I really wanted to work at. Goalies live up here, right?
Bravo, yeah.
All right, so that's great.
After training with mixologist Phil Wills, they showed massive improvement, delivering consistent cocktails, faster service, and noticeably better results.
Now there's a team around them that you'd think would have worked here for weeks. They're solid. They're working their customers. That's hitting every table.
These bartenders ended up becoming the complete opposite of Jen of the infamous Patty's Pub, who was so irresponsible that John Taffer himself had to comment.
I must confess, I've seen bartenders leave a bar drunk. How many of you seen show up to work drunk?
She didn't even show up to work. She barely made it through the door.
But before her chaotic entrance even unfolded, the bar staff were already stressed out about how to cover Jen's shift, since she failed to show up without any notice.
Looks like they're missing one bartender.
Jen is not here yet. Who is it? Jen. I got Ashley calling her right now.
Okay, so Twana is dealing with it.
Because of this, Brooke and Brittany, who weren't even that skilled to begin with, suddenly had even more responsibility on their plate due to the staff shortage, and it showed in the customer experience. Brooke was basically guessing every ingredient to pour in each drink.
Get yourself a freaking jigger, girl.
So look at the cocktails that they're making. They're doing 50% whiskey, 50% cola, and it should be about 25% whiskey,
Absolutely.
75% cola is their operation.
Yeah.
Russ, Brooke just made a drink with milk. She put the milk on and splashed all over the bar. Brittany cleaned it up.
And the owner, who was supposed to be managing the bar, was more focused on entertaining himself than actually running it.
That doesn't work for me, and that's not an owner.
But as if service couldn't possibly get any worse, Jen finally showed up, so intoxicated she could barely stand, forcing her coworkers to babysit her instead of serving customers.
Why are you failing with the lights?
All these people.
So there, look at that. That's Jen, the bartender.
Hold on. Shut the door.
I must confess, how many of you seen show up to work drunk?
She didn't even show up to work. She barely made it through the door.
I really up.
That's not something that can happen, man.
Russ?
Yep.
So, Jen, she had some shots. She's currently laying over there.
I don't know what drink with it.
Say good, man.
And she even decided to lie down in the customer lounge, making everyone around her visibly uncomfortable with what they were witnessing.
Oh, come on. Oh, God. She is useless.
That's a whole other level.
Open your eyes, please.
She's not okay.
She eventually had to be escorted home in a car, and instead of apologizing during the staff meeting with John the next day, she came in with an incredibly creative excuse for her behavior.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You look a lot better than you did last night.
It's just a fluke. It was a matter of I had forgotten to eat.
However, as much as the owners tolerated her initial behavior, this was nothing compared to how Kareem tolerated his bartender John at Jack's place. As a former bartender at the same bar, Kareem, the owner, knew exactly how to make drinks that appeased the customers. But unfortunately, the type of bartenders she hired had the complete opposite skill set. Her management style was so laid back that the bartenders literally call her mom, and they treat the workplace more like their bedroom than a bar.
Mom!
How many of you guys in here call me mom?
Corinne treats everybody like they're her kids.
When I train the bartenders, I tell them it's their house and they're in charge because they're responsible for everything they do.
And when you own a business, you can't do that.
And one of the bartenders who really took advantage of Kareem's motherly instinct is John, who turned the bar into his personal flair playground. Because soon after the Recon spies ordered their drinks, which already came out poorly,
You don't like it? Yeah, that's not good.
What's up?
It's a little...
John immediately launched into a flair performance that looked worse than a practice drill.
Get a Lynchburg lemonade.
All right.
They've ordered a Lynchburg lemonade, which is probably one of the most popular mixed Jack Daniels drinks in the world.
100%.
Oh! Hey, I gotta try it. They got me a child-proof bartender flaring bottle, see?
Is it plastic?
Don't do it.
Hey,
You already broke a cap. No.
but that's how you do it.
Customers looked visibly confused and borderline uncomfortable.
All right, let me see. We're gonna get this.
You threw it right up into that.
All right, here we go.
And even when the manager called him out, he showed almost no respect for authority.
Creating a liability, I don't believe that's what I hired you to do.
Is he the manager?
Yeah. Hell no, he ain't the manager, man, because he tries to be.
So is that the end of the conversation, John?
Hey, I'm working over here. Would you guys mind? You know what I'm saying?
Washing dishes?
I'm doing my job. I'm conversing with the customers.
I literally just asked you not to do that.
Mid-shift, he even decided it was a good idea to sit down and hang out with customers at the bar instead of working.
Yeah, John, take a break. Get out of here.
Bullshit. This is bull.
Then leave.
Sit next to these good fellows over here. My man.
Minus the maraschino cherries. He already
Now he's drinking. He's sat on the other side of the bar, and now he's chugging his cocktail. This isn't good.
At that point, Mother Kareen had to step in for multiple one-on-one talks with him, but John still refused to accept any criticism about either his flair performance or authority from anyone else.
Why do you think I'm flaring? I'm trying to help. I'm trying to bring
And I appreciate
an attraction. Really? I'm getting on the whole time.
I need you to be able to take direction.
I do take direction. I take direction fine. But when the direction is coming from 4 different people, who are we supposed to listen to?
They are my managers, so you do have to listen.
Whatever.
They have no respect for her at all.
But have I not just officially handed over the authority to these guys? So that means that's who you respect.
No.
Honestly, maybe John should just rule the world.
Fans of the show found John's reactions incredibly immature, with one comment quoting him directly. "Why do you think I'm flaring? I'm trying to help." I pictured a legit 4-year-old when he said this. He's very childish and immature for a grown man with a beard and muscles. But no one found him more childish than John Taffer, who, after realizing the bar had been completely unmanned because of the childish bartender, stepped in personally to give his verdict on the other John's behavior.
Every employee is in the office arguing. I think it's the perfect time for me to go in. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Single employee is disrespectful to all 3 managers, and none of the managers are acting like managers. They need to step up, and the employee needs to shut up. Hello.
Hey.
He's a prick, isn't he?
Yes, he's a...
And you know he's a prick.
Yes, I do.
And you know he's a prick, correct?
Yes.
Look at your freaking attitude here. You don't make the rules. You can't even flare and catch one freaking thing or do one thing right. But you're standing here bad-mouthing them. You are a prick.
Takes one to know one, man.
Surprisingly, Corinne's motherly instincts still kicked in even here, as she defended bartender John's actions despite everything.
Not all the time.
You want to run a business, act like a businesswoman, not a mom.
I don't want him to be a prick in front of my customers.
You just don't do anything about it. And I'll come back and help your bar. But I'm not working with a prick who doesn't give a f.
He does give a f.
If I didn't care, I wouldn't be trying to do what I do. I don't have formal flair training,
then here's the
but
deal.
I try.
Doesn't mean what you did tonight would destroy this business. Show me you're a man and apologize.
John, please.
Because only a child won't. A man will.
John, I know you can do this.
Shut up. Humble up.
You're gonna talk to her like that,
No.
right? Well, to be a man and apologize.
Eventually, John the bartender did apologize and actually worked like a respectable bartender after training that he managed to even impress John Taffer.
I gotta tell you, he's had a big attitude change. I mean, he's actually really trying.
Yeah, he's working hard, he's smiling, he's likable, and it's showing through right now.
And this was the kind of turnaround that initially felt impossible at the City Bar, which had some of the most creative bartenders, but all the wrong reasons. Aside from the establishment name itself, which had plenty of fans commenting things like, "I can't imagine a less imaginative name than City Bar." The first thing John Taffer noticed about the bar was its massive sanitation problem. It was the same bartender cleaning vomit-filled toilets,
What the man? Back on doo-doo patrol again. Will somebody get a mop and clean the bathroom?
was also one of the main people making drinks behind the bar.
Cleaning the toilet. And then she's gonna go behind the bar. At least you do it more discreetly so the customers don't know the person who's making their drinks is the same one who just cleaned out a toilet.
But little did he know, that was actually one of the least surprising problems in this bar. For starters, the bartenders were smoking behind the bar and had absolutely no idea how to make drinks.
No, we don't.
Can you make a mojito?
What's in a mojito? We don't have mint.
You can do a Manhattan?
We don't have any dry room here.
And bitters?
Bitters.
Yeah. What is she making?
Those are his recons. It has been 15 years since I made
All
one.
right. Strong? Or very strong?
Very strong. My God.
Thank
he
you.
didn't blend his Bloody Mary.
What do you think?
Yeah, go for it. Might need crackers.
That is an interesting Bloody Mary.
And when asked what her best cocktail was, Kim, one of the bartenders, proudly offered a martini, only to use her bare fingers to grab olives before serving them to customers.
Make you a martini.
All right.
Martini?
Absolutely, I'll do
Vodka
that.
or gin?
Let's do a vodka.
Do you want it dirty or no?
Yes. Yeah, let's make it dirty.
I think the real question is it dirty because of olive juice or because it's just filthy?
Oh my goodness. Poking the olives with her hands.
But despite the lack of bartending skills, the owner still had surprising confidence in his staff. So much so that he gave them full creative freedom to host events meant to bring customers in.
Have a band booked. If I don't have a special event, literally, we can do 0 sales. So we depend on our bartenders to create their own events and do their own parties.
However, while the events he knew about were relatively standard,
Monday nights we do a jazz night. Generally on the weekends we might do some DJs occasionally.
he had no idea that one of the biggest recurring nights being run was a BDSM-themed event, complete with inappropriate costumes, roleplay, and a ton of props.
We have porn stars coming tonight, so who knows what's coming.
And it wasn't until a giant prop came through the door that Brad, the owner, fully realized the scale of what was being hosted inside this bar.
Oh boy. What is that? What the hell is that?
Looks like some type of cross.
John Taffer, who already knew this was happening, had to show Brad what had actually been going on weekly during these fetish nights.
Brad believes or isn't around, more of who we actually are as a community comes out. Even on a normal night at City Bar, we usually have cross, spades, whips, chains, all kinds of interesting things.
Look at this going on in your bar.
And seeing how this night was about to unfold, Brad couldn't help but spiral and storm into his own bar in a rage straight from the car.
Kim! Where's Kim? Where's Kim? Where did you go? None of this stuff comes into the building. I leave, and then it comes into the building. Whose cross is this? What is this doing here? Cross out of here! Cross will never be in my bar. Here.
I thought this guy was mellow. He's obviously extremely passive or extremely emotional.
This is $6,000 a month. Everybody got paid except for me. And this is what I get?
People online enjoyed watching just how intense his reaction was, with one viewer commenting, "John Taffer hyped the fuck out of that bar owner." But there were also those who saw it as overacting, commenting, "Lamau, that guy was the worst actor, running in there like a pissed off football coach and throwing shit around. I'm calling BS on that whole ordeal. I bet the guy knew kink and fetish nights were a thing at that place and was in on it from the start. He just pretended he didn't know." Because of the aggressive confrontation, Kim's husband ended up walking out in anger.
You, I'm done.
And overwhelmed by everything that happened, Kim failed to show up for training.
Kim, noticeably gone? What's the deal?
Kim was real upset last night. I don't know if she's going to be back.
Though ironically, she ended up showing later, right in time for the stress test.
Let's talk. Kim is asking if she can come back. Before I let her in, she has to meet my expectations. What made you decide to come back?
My loyalty to you in the bar. I've been here for you. I'll always be here for you.
Because she wasn't trained on the drinks, Kim ended up handling odd jobs around the floor instead.
Okay, you can be out on the floor.
Okay.
Pick up any glasses that you freaking pick up.
Okay.
And while she seemed to be doing her best in that temporary role, this time, Megan was the one completely breaking down under pressure.
Calm down. I've got your bar covered. Just focus on what I have. Megan, look at me and take a breath.
Everybody's on my face, on my ass.
Well, welcome to the bar business, Megan.
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Calm down. Breathe. Hey, look at me. Look at me and breathe. You're not gonna have an anxiety attack. Look at me and breathe. Come here.
Try it.
Breathe.
Breathe. I got you. Breathe.
Everybody's screaming at me, telling me how up. I was doing my best.
One way or another, though, the bar ended up having a successful relaunch, with customers leaving happy, even without the chaos of the original fetish nights.